Here we go. Ready? Oh, who's better than me? Yeah. All right. The next step, finally, I'm going to start the interior box. I was debating whether I wanted to show you guys how I built this box or not, because in the old ones it would have been like a hidden compartment, but since we showed you how it was taken apart at the museum, I figured I'm just going to show you how I want to build it. And I always stress how important it is to save scrap. And you can see that I got these pieces here, you know, and I have all the scrap pine still, and I have a box junk right here. It's not junk. This is the material that we use, you know. This is the stuff that we need to make sure we have enough of, you know. On this interior compartment, right? What it has a door in the front. Obviously, it has a couple of pilasters. You open the door, and it has four drawers on the inside, right? But they only go halfway. The depth of this thing is about 12 inches, and the drawers in the front are only going to be 6 inches. And there's going to be a hidden spring that you're going to be able to access from the front somewhere. I haven't decided where yet. And what you need to do is you need to access the whole, you need to basically figure out how you pull this box out. Because once you pull the box out, behind the pilasters, in the back, there's going to be a couple of document drawers, and then there's going to be another bank of probably 4 drawers just out of pine. So basically it's going to be, you know, if I'm thinking about it, this is the front, you know what I mean, and this is the back. There's going to be a partition down the middle. So when you open up the door from the front, you're going to be able to access these drawers, and then when you pull the whole box out after you figure out how to do it, you're going to access the back of this thing, which would have been really typical of of one of these period pieces. You know, I could have just made it and not told anybody, but I thought it would be kind of cool to show you guys how you put the spring in and all that stuff in. I haven't made one, so it'll be interesting to see how I can deal with it. So, like I said, it's always important to keep this scrap around. So, I got plenty of it. God knows I made enough mistakes on this one already. You know, not too many, just a couple, but whatever. So, here we go. Here is the golden pieces. You probably don't believe me, but it's true. So I'm going to get to doing it. All this stuff needs to be milled down to ½ inch, and then I need to start making the box. It's a dovetail box. You know, you could use a dovetail jig, like a lead jig or whatever they call it. I had one. I hated it. I didn't even use it. You know, a lot of people won't tell you that. You know the pins. You know, they look like teeth, and you line them all up with an Allen wrench. You know, and then you use a router to route them out. And a lot of times those teeth bobble, they get loosened up, and they move around, and your dovetails really aren't perfect. You know, so I think for the amount of time, energy, and effort that it takes to learn how to use one of those complicated jigs, you're better off just cutting it by hand, you know. Plus, it's more fun, you know, unless you had 10,000 drawers to make. And then even then, I would recommend just buying drawers from a company that has a dovetail jig. They come like already made, already finished. They get like they're maple drawers with solid bottoms, and they're finished already. And for the amount of money that it's going to cost you to do all that work and run all that material, and it's a ton of work to make drawers. You're better off just buying them. What's up, Rachel? Nothing? You want to say hi to everybody in America? Well, I got my coffee. Yeah, baby. Let's go. What's up? Go ahead, say hi to everybody. She's camera shy. That's all right. So I have my Starbucks coffee and my Wampin breath saver. Doesn't my breath smell terrific when I drink coffee and smoke cigars all day? No?
I wouldn't know.
No? Alright, well, here's all the stock. And I'm going to get going. Alright, you can shut the thing off, honey. Well, this is me relaxing. It's like 85 degrees out. I'm milky white. Don't have a tan. My hair's all brown. Everybody in the woodworking field is is in Vegas right now. I guess it's the 50th anniversary of some big woodworking show. Somebody just told me about it yesterday. Patty from Sawstop, as a matter of fact, told me about it, and I had no idea. So, all the woodworkers of the world are in Las Vegas, except this one. I'm here working, so I'm going to take my 15 minutes to smoke and drink my cigar and my coffee, listen to some tunes, and then I'm going to keep working. Teach Chisel doesn't have time to go to Vegas yet. Unless somebody wants to buy a Bombe Secretary. Anybody out there? No help. So, this is me relaxing. What do you think? Nice relaxing music?
Oh, it's nobody's fault, buddy.
Alright, well, I milled up all the pine, and I cut the sides, and I have the bottoms glued up to a piece of mahogany right over there that I have to wait till they dry before I can cut them to fit into the opening of the box. But I figured I'd just give you a quick breakdown on how to cut dovetails again, since, you know, the first podcast I was kind of messing around, and it really took like 27 minutes to explain how to do dovetails, and it's really not that complicated. And hopefully I got a little better at explaining myself. So, check it out. These are the two sides, okay? And what you want to do, basically, I have two pins on either side that are 3/8 of an inch thick, okay? So you want to find the center of those pins, here and here. You got it? Now, you want to take a long straight edge, and all you want to do is just make the connection between point to point on an even number, okay? So I just went to 14. Now you could go an inch and a half, or whatever. Since this box, you're never going to see it, these are only to keep the whole thing together. I went 2 inches apart. So you can see that I drew the line, and then I just went 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, okay? And then after I did that, I took my square, and I just squared down, okay, from the line. So I'm squaring down this line, that line, each one, okay? And these are the centers of my pins. And then what I did is I did the same to the other end of the board. You see down here? These are just these lines projected onto the other side. So now basically I have the top and the bottom of the box laid out with pins. And now, since both sides of this box are going to be the same, all I'm going to do is just transfer these marks onto the other piece. See? Just like that. So I just go along, I mark the other board. And you know what? This is the way that you keep your dovetail pins centered, and they're all it's the same distance between pin to pin, so you don't get to the end of it and you have like one that's, you know, way off. You know, I haven't even checked them, but I know that this is the way that it's done, so this is definitely how it's going to be. All right. So once I get all my center lines, I want to put the board into the vise. All right. Now, this part, you know, it's a personal preference, okay? Because, you know, like I said, this is really rough, so I don't particularly care about the size of these dovetail pins. But if you really want it to be super exact, you want to get the center of your pins, you know what I'm saying? Transfer them across the edge, and then you just measure over. If you want it to be 3/8 at the top, you just got to measure over like 3/16 or something down there at the bottom. So you want to measure over equal distance from the center line that you have, and then you just take your 1 6. I finally bought one. Well, Al bought it for me. He didn't know it. I went down to Beaver Woodworking and I took it from. I had to go down there for him, so I made him buy me one. So all you got to do. This is the pin. Thick side. Oh, all right. This one. All right. Now I'm not gonna be too concerned about these ones because they're super, super rough, and I don't really care. So I'm just gonna mark them wherever, because I'm really not concerned about these ones. These ones can be huge. You know what I'm saying? So then I just go the other way. I mark them this way. All right. I mean, and this is it, guys. This is it. Now, you know what? You could even cut a bunch of this on the table saw. You know, whatever. You really can. And then it's just a matter of transferring these lines down. And you know, I'm not even concerned about transferring these lines down because I know that it's totally rough. So I'll probably just take my blue blade and cut these, but just to show you guys quickly. Okay, so I'm transferring these lines down. The camera should probably be on the other side of me, but whatever. I'll try to do it with my right hand. So I'm just transferring these lines that I eyeballed and I drew down. Man, is it hot in this shop. I can open up that door. Woo! I got a water slide on my back. Wow! Alright. Bam! Blue blade. Right? So, I'm just going to go along and cut these, okay? Now I just cut these ones. Now I'm going to go over to the bandsaw and cut the waste out, okay? Alright, so now you can see I got all my pins cut, right? You know, and they're all centered. They're definitely centered, but you know what? That's plenty for what I'm doing here. So then from here, all I'm going to do is go into the bandsaw, and you have to keep it so you have the thick side at the top, so you can remove most of this material. Alright, I'm back. Now, you got to remember, it's important to make sure that you have the fat side up so you don't cut into these dovetails, alright? So I'm just going to do a couple to show you how it is, alright? Contact. So I'm just going to stay away from the pin, alright? I'm going to come in. Alright. Now that pretty much guarantees that I don't cut the tail. I mean the thick side of the pin. Then I'm just going to come in. Take the material off. Okay? That's it. Before I forget, I just want to go down and do these ones. And since this is like an interior box and no one's ever going to see any of this joinery, you don't have to worry about it. This is all just to keep the box together, sound and tight. You don't want to do it with nails and you know? You want to still stay true to the period. And I like doing dovetails. Alright, so check it out. Not bad, right? Now basically all I need to do is just remove this little bit of material with a chisel, and then like you can see how I stayed away from the line, like the marking gauge line. That's because I'm going to remove the rest of this material with a chisel. So I mean literally in about 15 minutes I'm going to have this done. So 15 minutes, half hour, say an hour, I'm going to have these two sides cut and dovetailed and ready to be set onto the bottom and the top. So, you know what, people say that dovetails take too much time. They're just not telling you the truth. It's pretty easy. And you know what, these are all sanded, and you saw how I did it, so it's it was like a bug went in my throat or something. It's just a matter of precision on how close you want to get to the center of each one of these center points, and how well you want to execute. And you know, you can really you know, elevate your game and be splitting hairs with yourself to get perfect dovetails, you know. And it's challenging and it's a lot of fun. And that's what woodworking is all about, is to try to elevate your hand skills. Well, me personally, I'm trying to elevate my hand skills and my mind to slow it down enough where I can execute at a really high level, you know. I mean, I could have bought a dovetail jig and zapped these things out, you know, but what's the fun in that, you know? Anybody can do that. All right, see ya.